Hello everyone, welcome to online class of Power Systems 2 subject. This is Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor in Triply Department. Let us see the contents of today's class. So in today's class, I will be discussing about the active power, reactive power, apparent power, power triangle, reactive power measurement, single phase VAR meter, polyphase VAR meter, reactive power measurement in balanced three-phase circuit, static VAR compensator, thyristor control reactor and thyristor switch capacitor. So with this I'll complete the 4th unit syllabus. So to understand what is reactive power measurement or what are the various methods of reactive power measurement, so we need to first know what is reactive power. Okay, so along with reactive power we have to know what is active power and what is apparent power also. So active, reactive and apparent power, we need to understand the definitions, and we have to understand their units. Okay, and which is useful power, which is useless power. Okay, and what is power triangle, how we can measure from power triangle apparent power. Okay, now reactive power measurement we can do it in two ways, that is single phase VAR meter and polyphase VAR meter. Again for three phase circuit also we can measure the reactive power by suitable techniques. Now there is a topic in the syllabus, static VAR compensator. So under that, in the syllabus we are having two types, thyristor control reactor and thyristor switch capacitor. So these are the contents which I am going to discuss in today's class. So let us start the class. Active power. So let us see the definition of active power. What is active power? The power which is actually consumed or utilized in an AC circuit is called as active power. Now, active power is also called as true power or real power. So the units of active power are kilowatt or megawatt. Okay. So active power is measured in kilowatt or megawatt. It is the actual outcome of electrical system which will run the electric circuits or load. Okay. So the formula for active power is P is equal to VI cos phi, or we can write this as I square R watts. Okay. Whereas in DC circuits we have seen that power was equal to only VI. But in AC circuits, power will be equal to VI into cos phi. And what is active power? The power which is actually consumed or utilized in the AC circuit is called as active power or true power or real power. What is reactive power? Let us see the definition. The power which flows back and forth, that means it will move in both the directions in the circuit or reacts upon itself, is called as reactive power. Okay. So what is reactive power? The power which flows back and forth and it will move in both the direction. It is called as reactive power. So reactive power will be measured in kilovolt ampere, that is kVAR or MVAR. M is mega here. So mega volt ampere reactive or kilovolt ampere reactive is the units of reactive power. Formula for reactive power is Q is equal to VI sin phi, or I square X VAR. Apparent power. Let us see the definition of apparent power. Product of root mean square value of voltage and current is called as apparent power, and apparent power is measured in kilovolt ampere or megavolt ampere. Let us see in detail reactive power. So it has been seen that power is consumed only in resistance, whereas in a pure inductor and pure capacitor, power is not consumed, because in half cycle whatever power is received from the source by these components, then same power will be returned back to the source. Okay, so in one half cycle power is received from the source, and in the next cycle power is returned to the source. So this power which returns and flows in both the direction in the circuit is called as reactive power, and this reactive power is the power which is consumed by inductor and capacitor, where this reactive power is not doing any useful work in the circuit. Reactive power is not performing any useful work in the circuit, because in one half cycle power is taken from the source, and in next half cycle power is returned back to the source. So power will be consumed only in case of resistance. That power is called as active power or true power. In a purely resistive circuit, current will be in phase with the applied voltage, whereas in purely inductive and purely capacitive circuit, current is 90 degrees out of phase. That is, if it is inductive load, current will lag the voltage by 90 degrees, and for a capacitive load, current will lead the voltage by an angle of 90 degrees. Okay? For a pure resistor, voltage and current are in phase with each other. For a pure inductor, current will lag voltage by an angle of 90 degrees. For a pure capacitor, current will lead the voltage by an angle of 90 degrees. So we can conclude here from these points which I have discussed that current in phase with voltage will produce true or active power, whereas current 90 degrees out of phase with voltage will contribute to reactive power in the circuit. So we can write the equation for true power and reactive power as true power is equal to voltage into current in phase with the voltage. Reactive power is equal to voltage into current out of phase with the voltage. So true power is voltage into current in phase with the voltage, and this is happening in case of a resistor. Reactive power is voltage into current out of phase with the voltage, and this is happening in case of capacitor and inductor. So phasor diagram for an inductive circuit is shown in the figure. Here we have taken reference as voltage, and this is current phasor. B, A is the voltage phasor. Current is lagging voltage by an angle of phi. So we can write here I cos phi and I sin phi. Cos phi is nothing but what? Adjacent by hypotenuse, and sin phi is opposite by hypotenuse. Taking voltage V as reference, current will lag behind the voltage by an angle phi. Current is divided into two components, namely I cos phi and I sin phi. I cos phi is in phase with voltage V, and I sin phi is 90 degrees out of phase with voltage V. So we can see here I cos phi in phase with V, and I sin phi 90 degrees out of phase with V. Therefore, following expression is showing the relationship between active, reactive and apparent power respectively. Active power is equal to VI cos phi. Reactive power is equal to VI sin phi. Apparent power S is equal to VI. Okay. Active power is denoted by P. Reactive power is denoted by Q. Apparent power is denoted by S. So, active power VI cos phi. Reactive power VI sin phi. Apparent power is VI. Active component of current. What is active component of current? Let us see. The current component which is in phase with the circuit voltage and contributes to the active or true power of the circuit is called as active component or wattful component or in phase component of the current. Okay. Current component which is in phase with the circuit voltage and contributes to the active or true power of circuit is active component. Active component is also called as wattful component or in phase component of the current. Let us see what is reactive component. The current component which is in quadrature or 90 degrees out of phase to the circuit voltage and contributes to the reactive power of the circuit is called as reactive component of the current. Okay. Let us see the differences between active and reactive power. First one, active power is the real power which is consumed by the load, whereas reactive power is the useless power. Active power is the product of voltage, current and cosine of angle between them, whereas reactive power is the product of voltage and current and sine of angle between them. Active power is the real power and it is measured in watts, whereas reactive power is not so useful power and it is measured in volt ampere reactive. So letter P is representing active power, Q is representing reactive power. The torque that develops in the motor, heat dissipated in the heater and the light that emits to the lamp, all these produces because of active power. Reactive power will determine the power factor of the circuit. Wattmeter will measure the active power and VAR meter is used for measuring the apparent power. So, conclusion of all the discussions which we have done so far is that active power does the useful work in the circuit, whereas reactive power is merely flowing in the circuit without doing any useful work. Let us see the power triangle. See students, all of you note down this power triangle. So in this one we can see OA is representing true power, that is P is equal to VI cos phi. Units are kilowatt. And AB is representing reactive power. Q is equal to VI sin phi, and its units are volt ampere reactive. Addition of active and reactive power is apparent power. S is equal to VI measured in volt amperes, and this is the angle phi. So power triangle is the representation of right angle triangle showing the relationship between active power, reactive power and apparent power. Okay. So from power triangle we can see the relationship between active, reactive and apparent powers. So when each component of the current, that is active component or the reactive component, is multiplied by voltage, power triangle will be obtained. So when we are multiplying the component of the current by, if each component of the current is multiplied by active component I cos phi or reactive component I sin phi is multiplied by voltage, then we are obtaining a power triangle. Power which is actually consumed or utilized in an AC circuit is called as true power or active power or real power. It is measured in kilowatt or megawatt. Power which flows back and forth, and that means it will move in both the direction in the circuit or reacts upon it, is called as reactive power. And the reactive power is measured in kilovolt ampere or megavolt ampere reactive. Product of root mean square value of voltage and current is called as apparent power, and apparent power is measured in kilovolt ampere or megavolt ampere. So the following point shows the relationship between following quantities, and it is explained by graphical representation, which is called as power triangle as shown in the figure. When an active component of current is multiplied by circuit voltage, it results in active power. It is this power which produces torque in the motor, heat in the heater, and this is measured by wattmeter. So when the reactive component of current is multiplied by circuit voltage, it will give reactive power. This power will measure, this power will determine the power factor, and it flows back and forth in the circuit. So when the circuit current is multiplied by circuit voltage, it results in apparent power. So from the power triangle, we can write the true power or apparent power. We will get the true power and apparent power, and we can determine the power factor. Okay, power factor cos phi is written as active power by apparent power. See, this is the power triangle. In this one, cos phi can be written as adjacent by hypotenuse. Adjacent value here is true power. Hypotenuse is apparent power. Okay. So adjacent by hypotenuse is cos phi, and cos phi is the power factor, that is equal to active power by apparent power. Active power is measured in kilowatt, apparent power in kVA. So what is power factor? Cosine of angle between voltage and current is called as power factor. Cosine of angle between voltage and current is called as power factor, and it is given as ratio of active power to apparent power. So power means product of voltage and current, but in AC circuit, except for pure resistive circuit, there is usually a phase difference between voltage and current, and thus VI does not give real or true power in the circuit. So we have to multiply it with cos phi to get the value of active power, and multiply VI with sin phi to get the reactive power. So the power which exists in the circuit when the voltage and current are out of phase to each other, such type of power is called as reactive power. And formula for reactive power is Q is equal to VI sin phi, that is equal to I square X VAR. Now let us see the reactive power measurement. The measurement of reactive power is essential because value of reactive power shows total power loss in the circuit. If the value of reactive power is low, power factor of the load becomes poorer and more loss will occur in the system. So electrical system will be classified by number of phases used in the circuit, and according to these phases, VAR meter is categorized into two types. First one is single phase VAR meter, second is polyphase VAR meter. So we are going to see in detail these two VAR meters. Let us see the first one, single phase VAR meter. The reactive power of the single phase circuit is measured by VAR meter or volt ampere reactive meter. The VAR meter is a type of electrodynamometer wattmeter in which pressure coil of the meter will be made highly inductive. So this is one of the type of electrodynamometer wattmeter in which pressure coil is highly inductive in nature. So the term highly inductive means voltage of the pressure coil will lag at an angle of 90 degrees with that of the current coil. So it is a pure inductor where current is lagging the voltage by an angle of 90 degrees. Current which passes through the current coil is the load current. See, in the wattmeter or varmeter, there are two coils, pressure coil or potential coil. Second is current coil. So current which passes through the current coil is the load current, and load current has a phase difference of 90 degrees concerning that of the supply voltage, and it is given by the equation VI cos 90 degrees minus phi equal to VI sin phi, and that is reactive power. So single phase VAR meter gives the incorrect result because of the presence of harmonics. So this is a single phase VAR meter. This is pressure coil, current coil. These are the resistances R1, R2, R3, R4, inductances L1, L2, L3, capacitance C4. So single phase VR meter is giving the incorrect result because of the presence of harmonics. If the VR meter measures the reading at a different frequency from that which we use during the calibration, then also VR meter gives the inaccurate result. Let us see the second one, polyphase VR meter. The reactive power exists in the circuit because of the phase displacement between the voltage and current, and this phase shifting is obtained from the phase shifting transformer. Phase shifting transformer will consist of two open circuit transformers which are connected in open delta configuration. Current coil will be connected in series with the line, and pressure coil will be connected to the common terminals of both the auto transformers. So this is a polyphase VR meter, reactive power measurement with two auto transformers we are doing here. So this is wattmeter 1 and wattmeter 2, consisting of current coil, potential coil. CC is current coil, PC is potential coil or pressure coil. And these are the various tappings, 57.7%, 100% and 115.4%. Okay, and these are the supply lines and this is the load. So 57.7%, 100% and 115.4% shows the tapping of the auto transformer. Auto transformer shows the maximum line voltage of 115.4%. Pressure coil of one of the wattmeter is connected to the 115.4% tapping of auto transformer, while the other is connected to 57.7%. Voltage will produce pressure coil of wattmeter which is equal to the line voltage, but they have a phase shift of angle of 90 degrees. Similarly, pressure coil of wattmeter 2 has the phase difference of 90 degrees. Arithmetic readings of both the wattmeters gives the total reactive power of the circuit. Okay, because two wattmeters are present here, so addition of these two wattmeters is giving the total reactive power of the circuit. Let us see the another method, reactive power measurement in balanced three-phase circuit. So here we are using only one wattmeter to find out the reactive power. So single wattmeter method is used for measuring the power of balanced three-phase circuit. Current coil of wattmeter will be connected to one phase and pressure coil will be connected to the other phase of the line. So let the current through the coil, current coil is I2 and voltage across the pressure coil is V13. So reading of wattmeter will be V13 I2 cos of 90 plus phi, and that is equal to root 3 VI cos of 90 plus phi. Cos 90 plus phi is sin 90. So root 3 VI sin 90 is the reading of wattmeter. Total reactive volt amperes of the circuit is Q is equal to 3 VI sin phi, that is minus root 3 into reading of wattmeter. So tan phi can be written as Q by P, or phi is equal to tan inverse of Q by P. Now let us see the next topic, static VAR compensator. Static VAR compensator is a parallel combination of controlled reactor and fixed shunt capacitor. So as we can see it in the figure. Okay, static VAR compensator is a parallel combination of controlled reactor and fixed shunt capacitor. Thyristor switch assembly in the SVC controls the reactor. Firing angle of the thyristor controls the voltage across the inductor, and hence the current flowing through the inductor is controlled. So in this way, reactive power drawn by the inductor can be controlled. SVC static VAR compensator is capable of stepless adjustment of reactive power over an unlimited range without any time delay. It will improve the system stability and system power factor. So, following are the most commonly used SVC schemes. First one is thyristor controlled reactor, that is TCR. Next, second one is thyristor switch capacitor, TSC. Third is self reactor, SR. Fourth is thyristor controlled reactor fixed capacitor, that is TCR, FC. Next is thyristor switch capacitor, thyristor controlled reactor, TSC, TCR. So out of all these, first two schemes are there in the syllabus of TS2 subject, that is thyristor controlled reactor and thyristor switch capacitor. Let us see the first one, thyristor controlled reactor. So before seeing that, let us see the advantages of static VR compensator. By using static VR compensator, power transmission capability of transmission lines will be increased. Transient stability of the system will be improved. And it will control the steady state and temporary over voltages. And load power factor is improved, and therefore reduced line losses will be there and system's capability will be improved. So let us see the thyristor controlled reactor. So thyristor controlled reactor consists of reactor L placed in series with the thyristor valve, as we can see it in the figure. And this reactor is a controlled element of TCR and it controls the thyristor valve. TCR or thyristor controlled reactor consists of two opposite pole thyristors which conducts every alternate half cycles of the supply. And in TCR, duration of current flowing through the reactor will be controlled by firing angle of the thyristor. For every half cycle, thyristor will be given a triggering pulse by control circuit. Thyristor control reactor is used in extra high voltage lines for providing lagging VARs during low load or load rejection. Next, thyristor switch capacitor. Thyristor switch capacitor is used in extra high voltage lines for providing leading VARs during heavy loads. Current through the capacitor can be varied by controlling the firing angles of back-to-back thyristors connected in series with the capacitor. When the voltage at a bus reduces below the reference value, static VAR compensator use TSC for injected capacitive volt amperes, and when the voltage at the bus rise above the reference value, inductive VAR will be injected to lower the bus voltage by using TCR. Thank you everyone. So in today's class, we have covered all these following topics, that is reactive power measurement and static VAR compensator. Okay, these are the main topics. So to understand reactive power measurement, we have seen what is active power, what is reactive power, what is apparent power, what is power triangle, what are the definitions of all these powers, what are the formulas, and what are the units of all these powers. Okay, then reactive power measurement can be done by single phase VR meter and polyphase VR meter, and also we have seen the reactive power measurement in balanced three phase circuit. Then we have seen a static VR compensator. It is again of in that we are having two types, thyristor control reactor and thyristor switch capacitor. So we have seen what are these two and where they are used. Okay. So active power is nothing but the power which is actually consumed or utilized in AC circuit is active power. It is also called as true power or real power. It is measured in kilowatt or megawatt. And active power is denoted by P. P is equal to VI cos phi. VI cos phi is active power, or I square, or also we can write. Power which will flow back and forth, and it will move in both the direction in the circuit or reacts upon itself is called as reactive power. Reactive power will be measured in kilovolt ampere reactive, kVAR or megavolt ampere reactive. Reactive power is denoted by letter Q and its formula is VI sin phi or I square X volt ampere reactive. Apparent power is a product of root mean square value of voltage and current uh, and it's measured in kilovolt ampere or megavolt ampere. So the power is consumed only in case of resistance, whereas a pure inductor and pure capacitor does not consume any power, because in half cycle whatever power is received from the source by these components, same power will be returned to the source. So whatever power it is receiving, it is giving back to the source. So uh, reactive power is a power which returns and flows in both the direction in the circuit, and reactive power does not perform any useful work in the circuit. In purely resistive circuit, current is in phase with the applied voltage, whereas in a purely inductive and capacitive circuit, current will be 90 degrees out of phase with the voltage. That is, if inductive load is connected in the circuit, current will lag the voltage by 90 degrees, and if capacitive load is connected, current will lead the voltage by 90 degrees. So, we can conclude that current in phase with voltage will produce true power or active power, whereas current 90 degrees out of phase with the voltage contributes to reactive power. Therefore, true power is equal to voltage into current in phase with the voltage, and reactive power is voltage into current out of phase with the voltage. Phasor diagram for an inductive circuit we have seen here. Voltage is taken as reference, current is lagging the voltage by an angle phi. Then I cos phi is in phase with voltage, I sin phi is 90 degrees out of phase with voltage. So current is divided into two components, I cos phi and I sin phi. I cos phi in phase with voltage, I sin phi 90 degrees out of phase with voltage. So active power equal to VI, P is equal to VI cos phi, reactive power Q is equal to VI sin phi. Apparent power is S is equal to VI. Then we have seen what is active component, reactive component, differences between active and reactive power we have seen. So conclusion of all this discussion, active power does the useful work in the circuit. Reactive power will merely flow in the circuit without doing any useful work. Power triangle we have seen. Power triangle is a representation of right angle triangle showing the relationship between active power, reactive power and apparent power. So whenever each component of current, that is active component, is multiplied, active component or reactive component is multiplied by voltage, then power triangle is obtained. Power which is actually consumed, power, power which is flowing back and forth, reactive power, and product of RMS value of voltage and current, apparent power, and their units we have seen. So from power triangle, we can find out the power factor, that is cosine of angle between voltage and current. It is the ratio of active power by apparent power, kilowatt by kVA. Reactive power measurement we have seen. So in this one we are having the two types, that is single phase wattmeter and polyphase wattmeter. So measurement of reactive power is essential because value of reactive power shows the total power loss in the circuit. If the value of reactive power is low, power factor of the load will become poorer and more loss will occur in the system. So electrical system will be classified by the number of phases used in the circuit, and according to these phases, wattmeter is categorized into two types, single phase and polyphase wattmeter. Single phase we have seen. So this type of wattmeter is similar to it is same as the electrodynamometer type wattmeter, in which pressure coil of the meter is made highly inductive. Highly inductive means current will lag the voltage of pressure coils will lag at an angle of 90 degrees with that of the current coil, and current which passes through the current coil is the load current, and load current has a phase difference of 90 degrees concerning that of supply voltage, and it is given as VI cos of 90 minus phi equal to VI sin phi, that is reactive power. But the disadvantage of single phase wattmeter is that it is giving the incorrect result because of presence of harmonics. If the wattmeter measures the reading at a different frequency from that which we are using in during the calibration, then also wattmeter is giving the inaccurate result. Next we have seen the polyphase wattmeter. Reactive power exists in the circuit because of the phase displacement between voltage and current, and this phase shifting is obtained from phase shifting transformer, which consists of open circuit transformer, and it is connected in open delta configuration. Current coil will be connected in series with the line, and pressure coil or potential coil will be connected to the common terminals of both the auto transformers. So tappings are provided on the auto transformer at 57.7%, 100% and 115.4%. So auto transformer is showing the maximum line voltage of 115.4%. Pressure coil of one of the wattmeter is connected to 115.4% tapping of auto transformer, while the other is connected to the 57.7%. So there are two wattmeters which are used here, and total reactive power will be arithmetic reading addition of readings of both wattmeters. So voltage produces a pressure coil of wattmeter which is equal to line voltage, but they have a phase shift of 90 degrees. Similarly, pressure coil of wattmeter 2 has a phase difference of 90 degrees. So arithmetic readings of both the wattmeters gives the total reactive power of the circuit. Then reactive power measurement in balanced three-phase circuit we are measuring with the help of only one wattmeter, which is single wattmeter method is used for measuring the power of balanced three-phase circuit. Current coil of the wattmeter will be connected to one phase, and pressure coil will be connected to the other phase of the line. And we are measuring the reading of wattmeter as root 3 VI sin 90 degrees, and reactive volt amperes Q is equal to 3 VI sin phi. So angle phi equal to tan inverse of Q by P. Static VR compensator we have seen. Static VR compensator is a parallel combination of controlled reactor and fixed shunt capacitor, and the thyristor switch assembly in the SVC controls the reactor. Firing angle of thyristor controls the voltage across the inductor, and hence current flowing through the inductor. So reactive power drawn by the inductor can be controlled. So there are various schemes in SVC: thyristor control reactor, thyristor switch capacitor, self reactor, and TCR, FCA, and TSC, TCR. So first two methods are there in the syllabus. That is thyristor control reactor and thyristor switch capacitor. Thyristor control reactor. In this, inductor is placed in series with the thyristor valve, and this reactor is a control element of TCR. It will control the thyristor valve. TCR consists of two opposite poled thyristor which conducts every alternate half cycles of the supply. And this is used in extra high voltage lines for providing lagging VARs during the low load or load rejection. Thyristor switch capacitor is used in EHV providing leading VAR, and current through the capacitor can be varied by controlling the firing angles of back-to-back thyristor connected in series with the capacitor. So when the voltage at a bus reduces below the reference value, static VR compensator use TSC for injected capacitive volt amperes, and when the voltage at the bus rise above the reference value, inductive VAR to be injected to lower the bus voltage by using TCR. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Give your attendance in comment section. Thank you.